Hi, it's Autumn with GradMissions Office Hours. I'm here with Lizanne. Hi, Lizanne.
Hey everybody, I'm Lizanne, also here with Grad Missions.
Yeah, we were actually just chatting on our weekly team huddle as we kind of talk about the different clients we're working with this week and what we're seeing in patterns of medical admission cycles, law school admission cycles. And what we found ourselves doing is sort of a post-mortem on the JD 25 cycle, even though it's not over yet, right? We're
No,
not
not
there yet.
quite. Mhm.
Yeah, so Lizen, what are you seeing as far as the clients who you're working with who are waiting with sweaty palms for that ultimate admission?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, as we as we've seen, these are unprecedented times yet again. Um, not
I'm
something
glad
that we
it's not
haven't
a drinking game because this poor generation has been through so
yeah,
many unprecedented times.
I know. I know. Which is annoying, it's an annoying thing to say, but it's true. But you
It-
and I have seen this before, so we are not shocked by it. But our clients who have not seen this before, who have never applied to law school before, are like, what in the world is going on? I have done all the right things. I've done, put in the work, and I'm still waiting. And so right now, it's just a lot of encouraging and reminding them to stay the course.
Mhm.
And apps are up 50%, as we have seen in cycles before, and we have seen the successful outcomes before. They just take a little bit longer. So lots of encouragement right now, lots of, hey, you're not bugging me if you're texting me at night, like, why haven't I heard from my school yet? Because we've been there, done that.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
And we've been to
just
school, right? Like
encouraging them
we've
to
been
stay
to
the course.
school.
Yes, yes,
So we know how
absolutely.
it feels
So,
to be on
and
that side of
yes, the
that.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember, when we were working together at school, and we've almost felt bad because we knew these great students and we were just waiting, for the committee.
Mhm.
And so it's that similar encouragement. We just get to do it more free flow because we're not working for a university at this point. We can just be one-on-one with our clients and let them know this is what's gonna happen. Just stay the course. So
Yeah. So we were about to be in the time of year that you and I know from the industry side of things is called melt, right?
mhm, right.
How would you describe melt, Lizanne?
Yeah, so melt is when you have all of the students that are admitted and they are trying to decide what school they're going to attend. And they may be admitted to 10, 12, maybe even more schools. And the melt happens when those students select their school that they will actually be attending in the fall. And it opens up more spots for the students who may still be waiting on admissions at those certain schools. And the melt is even bigger when there is a cycle like this where apps are
Yes.
up.
Yes.
And as annoying as it is, there are some students who don't even want to go to law school. They're just freaking out. They're waiting on a job to come up, and they're like, well, in case I don't get this, great job, I'll just go to law school. And those
Mhm.
of us like me, hello, who applied during the recession of 2009, it's like, but I want to be here. I want a spot here. I actually want to be a practicing attorney one day, and you're just holding the
Hogging the
spot. And
spots.
so the spot hoggers will go away eventually and make way for the students who need to be there. And it sounds so silly, like I don't want to bring out that I used to be a rush counselor for my sorority, but it's like you're going to end up where you're supposed to be, and it's
Okay.
not compared to, but it's kind of that same, like
Yes.
you want to be there and you're just waiting to get there, but sorority's nothing like law school, but kind of
But
similar,
but
just
it
you're
feels
waiting
that way, right?
to get
It's
in that spot, and it's
vulnerable.
going to work out.
Yeah, it's vulnerable.
Personal.
It's high stakes, you want what you want, and you feel like you've done everything you can do. And so, a couple of things
Hmm.
that came up for
Yeah.
me as we were talking about Melt is that LSAC does have your best interest at heart in this one. With the creation of the LSAT, I'm not so sure.
Hmm.
But when it comes to admissions, they really do advocate for the applicants. And so they will
Yeah.
send this handy little report to all the law schools in May, early May, that says,
Yes.
here are the
Hmm.
naughty, not naughty, right? You have the right to commit to multiple law schools, that's fine.
They're on
But
the list though.
they're on the list. You're on the naughty list that you are committed to 5 law schools. And in May, the schools get your name and they get to see where else you're committed to. And so that's when Lizanne and
Yeah.
I would pick up the phone and say, hey, we noticed you're committed to 5 places. Are you coming here or not? And then we
Right.
start being able to move to the wait list. And who do we go to on the wait list, Lizanne? Who would we go to?
We are working with the students who have darkened the doors and have shown up and said, hey, this is where I want to go to school. And I'm committed to coming here. And we have got to know them outside of their paperwork. And they have made an impression on us. And we go to that committee meeting and are like, you're going to let them in. And this is why. And we know that. And we know that. But that is why we encourage our students, do not be shy. You are not bugging the office by asking for a tour, by asking for an interview. Yes, it's not required, but as far as grad missions goes, it's required that you show up and you do the interview. And we'll coach you through how to
Sure.
shine in that interview. But those are the students who stood out, were the ones who courted, is that weird to say, showed
No,
up and
I
were
think
like,
that's
hey,
right.
this, I'm interested in you guys. This is where I want to go. These are the reasons why I'm choosing this school. And they stand out heads above a student who never even made a phone call. And I
That's
get
right.
it because I was that student too. I was like, oh, they're busy. I don't want to bother them. But we wanted to be bothered because we needed to know, are they really wanting to come to school here? Or is this just a safety school?
Right.
What's going on here? And so those students um, are the ones who would get in and sooner.
That's right. The other thing that we really tried to do as we were working the wait list when Lizanne and I were out of school is put the ball back in the student's court. And so
Mhm.
for a lot of you right now, you have likely been told, if you're listening and you're in the current application cycle, that you need to retake the LSAT,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
you may feel an urge to do anything but, right? But it
Yeah.
really doesn't matter if a school tells you you need to retake the LSAT, if you know the school you want to go to has an LSAT median that is higher than your LSAT score, the
Mhm.
best thing you can do is study for and retake the LSAT. A lot of schools will even look at June.
Absolutely. And that's what they're telling you to do. It's not another letter of rec. It's not another interview. The missing piece is the LSAT. And deflating as that is to retake it and restudy, it is the ticket to getting into that school. That is what they are telling you. They're not saying, okay, we need another this, that, the other. No, they're directly telling you what they need from you
That's right.
and retake it. And we've
Yeah,
got some resources we can share with you on tutoring and studying to bump up those points.
that's right.
But that's what they're telling you. And that was another thing I feel like when we were on the other side, so to speak, Autumn, is it was frustrating when we really liked or valued, saw a lot of value in an applicant and they didn't listen to what we had to say. They're like, well, Reddit told me this. I'm like, but I literally sit in these committee meetings and I'm telling you it needs to be this. I'm giving
Yeah,
it to you what you need to do.
that's
And,
right.
when a student followed that and listened to our advice, it was beautiful. And they, not that it's about us, but they're like, thank you so much for telling me that. There were so many schools that I was wondering what the magic formula was. And you guys were so transparent about what I needed to do.
Yeah,
And
it's
so that's
exactly
why I
it.
love what we get to do now because we get to do that on even higher scale.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So as we sort of are coming to the close, right? They're starting to cue up the orchestra music for this
There.
current cycle. And we are already working with a pretty good little cohort of JD 26ers. So those are people
Yeah.
who those apps open in
Exciting.
September. If you're working with grad missions already, that's when you're going to be submitting your application as close to September 1 as
Yeah.
possible. To those people who
Mhm.
will be starting to apply in September, what do you think are the takeaways from this JD 25 experience?
I think applying early.
Ding, ding,
I
ding,
mean,
ding.
it sounds so silly,
Yeah.
but it's like get your app in early. And for me too, what I'm taking away is, if we see another cycle like this one this year, it's more of that mindset. It's just so overwhelming. And so if you are able to work with us and take it piece by piece, even if you're not ready to submit September 1, you'll be close to that number or that date.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to work over the summer to take it bit by bit so that when the fall rolls around, you're not studying for the LSAT and trying to, work through a semester of probably pretty rigorous schedule if you're a senior, work an internship, get your letters of rec, write your personal statement all in one. And it's just
And go to a
completely
football game.
overwhelming. And you're
Like we
not
want
really
you to
in a
have some
good
fun too.
headspace to put forward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, exactly.
that's true too. And enjoy it. It's your last year of college, or, for our non-traditional students, not everyone's a traditional student. You're working, you may have a family, you're trying to put food on the table. So we're just trying to make it more manageable for you to be able to shine through your application and you're not so stressed. Yes, you're going to be stressed. It's a big life decision, but being able to take it in bite-sized pieces so that it's not March and you're not calling us crying because you have to retake the LSAT, and
That's
it's okay if you have to retake the LSAT, but just all at once is so overwhelming. Whereas if you're able to take it in those manageable pieces, you're able to go to law school and you can kind of take a deep breath. Like, I'm good. I can just kind of get myself mentally prepared for this next challenge, as opposed to just hitting challenge after challenge all in 1 month.
that's right. That's right. And I
Yeah.
think it's also, if I was going to give a tip, like if my child was applying to law school in the fall to start fall 26, I think I would really advise them to apply to maybe time and a half of the number of law schools they were originally intended to apply. Because what we're seeing is that not only are there more applicants in
Mhm.
the cycle, those applicants are applying to more law schools. At the end of the day, the law schools have the number of classes,
Right.
they have the number of seats in classes that they have. It's not like one person can take up 10
Right.
seats. But as this melt is happening, as all of this is happening, I think I would advise these JD clients, these JD prospects, to think of it more like the med clients do. And they'll apply to 25 schools. I'm not saying you should apply to 25 law schools, but if you're planning to apply to 5 law schools, I think you should apply to 8. If you're planning to apply to 10 law schools, I think you should apply to 15. What do you
Yeah.
think about that tactic?
Yeah. I think that's a great strategy. I wouldn't say if you're not interested at all in moving to that area and, then no, but absolutely expand your horizons, especially if you're struggling in a certain portion of the application process, like your LSAT or something like that, and you're not in a space that you can retake. I think it's okay to broaden out and maybe go tour a school that wasn't necessarily on your list. Um, because like I was saying earlier, you're going to find the right school for you. You may have to look into something that you weren't thinking about before. And so just maybe thinking, okay, I'm going to just broaden my net just a little bit,
Yeah,
and maybe geographically, maybe just a school that you heard someone recommend, but obviously go look into that school before you apply, because like we were talking about earlier, you don't want to hog a seat that someone's just dying to go to that school and you're like, well, maybe, I don't know. So definitely do some research into that. And that's something that we can help students with. Like, hey, we know such and such at this school, or this school kind of has this vibe, or this school is really focuses on this area. But absolutely to expanding your net. And that's what I did. I ended up going to a school out of state, not that everyone has to follow what I did, but I ended up picking a school that wasn't necessarily on my first list. And it worked out great. And it's not a school that I would have considered, but for the recession and just,
right.
trying to expand and um, just look into something off the Reddit forum, just talk to us and see like, hey, have you thought about this school? And just
That's right.
having that advice. Yeah.
I think that's so helpful. And
No.
there are also people who say, well, I'm just going to go to the cheapest law school I can get into, right? Whoever's going to give me the most money, that's where I'm going to go. And I
Yeah,
understand that, right? Student debt is a thing.
it is.
But
But I
like
think you need
in
to look
life,
for value,
it's
you
a
know?
balance.
Yeah.
Exactly. Value. That's the
Right.
perfect word.
Yeah. And so you don't want to go into tons and tons of debt necessarily, but you're going to be more in debt if you don't pay anything for law school and then don't come out as a licensed attorney.
That's right.
So you got to think about the 3 years that you're investing, even if you pay no money, your time, and the fact that you're spending 3 years of your life studying to be an attorney, you want to come out being able to actually practice law.
That's right. And those bar passage rates matter because not only
Mhm.
does it matter for you, maybe you think, well, that's not going to be me. I'm going to be at the top of my class. But it also matters who you're in class with because
Mhm.
that's your legal network. You're an attorney, you understand. Like it matters. People are going to refer clients to you, they're
Yeah.
going to recommend you for jobs. Your network is as important as your law school. And so, in my opinion, and so I think that finding a place
Yeah.
if you go to a law school that only has a 60% bar passage rate, that means 40% of your legal network is gone. And that doesn't mean they won't ever pass the bar, but it's
Mm,
something to consider for sure.
right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I think those are some of our takeaways from the JD 25 class. And again, we're talking very big picture. When we work individually with clients, we get into this kind of inside baseball, but it's much more personalized. We kind of like to call it an
Yes.
operating system, which is sort of strange, like Apple, OS or whatever, but it is such a bigger picture than just your personal statement and your resume. It's so much bigger
Yes.
than all of that, and it's an ongoing
Yes.
calculus, and it's a marathon. It is not a sprint.
Mhm. Right. It
Yeah.
is.
Well, I
But
think we're gonna
we know we've run a bunch of marathons
oh, a bunch of them, a bunch of them.
and we know exactly what to do at mile 3. We know how to replenish at mile 7. Like we are ready to go. So
Yeah. Yeah, and this work as we close out the 25 cycle it just reminds me of why we work with clients beyond them hitting submit, right? Because you and I both
absolutely.
know I got a text yesterday from someone like her dream school is UC Irvine, and these UC schools are taking
Mm,
forever to make their decisions.
ever.
She got in at UC Irvine. She was so excited
Yeah.
fat and girly, and so it was just a good fit for her. She has some family reasons she wants to be there anyway. Um, but we have been working together since November, and she's in at some other schools, but boy, that was the one. That was the one that she
Yeah.
was waiting for. And now we get to talk with her about how to start making those inroads with the IP faculty, how to find clinics, how to start shifting
Yeah.
life toward that. She may do our One Already program. So we're with her until
Yeah.
orientation.
Right. Yeah, because it's still the work is still going on, and our operating system is for admission into your dream school and then how to succeed past that. You've gotten in, and now we're not just like, okay, good job, good luck. We
Right.
want to set you up for success all the way until you're sitting in for that bar exam and being sworn in.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming to office hours today, you all. We're going to be popping in here and
Yeah,
opening up just what we're seeing. We are, very high level in the medical school and law school admission scene. We're boots on the ground, but we're also consulting with schools nationwide. And so we're hearing from both sides of things, how it's going. We are data-driven girlies. We're watching the cycles, we're tracking things. And so if you ever want to pop in and see what's going on behind the curtain in the admissions land, we hope you'll join us for our office hours.
absolutely. And let us know on our socials if you have a topic that you would like us to talk about.
Yes, that sounds great. All right, thanks for
All
coming.
right. Bye.